All right, what's up, YouTube? We got the truck back from the shop. She's aligned. We're good to go. Still, man, even with this leveling kit, it still seems like the front sits lower relative to the rear. But nothing I can do at this point. It leveled it out a little bit more, but I don't know. I guess at the most it'll allow for a little bigger tires. Anyways, we got a new package today, a new install. Tuxedo bed cover. Gotta have a bed cover in my opinion. I don't like having an exposed bed. So we did get the roll up one opposed to the foldable. I used to have the foldable on the Raptor. It was durable, but I didn't like having it fold up to the rear window and then all my rear view was blocked by the folded bed cover right up against the window. So this will allow us to roll right up to it and still be able to view from the rear, and it's still durable. It's like this hardened plastic. Kind of pricey compared to some other bed covers. Tuxedo is a good brand. But a little pricey. It was like $1,000 just for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it installed and see how we like it. Okay, first things first with this, we're gonna go ahead and get the seal insulation installed. I do have a spray and bed liner, so I'm gonna be using spray adhesive to help adhere the sealant to the bulkhead of the bed. It is recommended to use a promoter if you have a spray in bed liners or a drop-in like plastic bed liner. So I went ahead and used this, sprayed it down. Sprayed it down, and then I laid this seal down. So you're gonna have this little flange up on the inside of the bed. And they gave me a little extra, so I was able to cut some off. But yeah, so far it's stuck pretty well. What this is going to do is prevent like dust and water and stuff from coming in. That's why you want to make sure you have this fold flange part here, because it'll shed dust and water away from inside the bed. Okay, so after you have that done, we're gonna go ahead and get our rails prepped. And each one of these rails sits a specific way. Your holes want to be closest to the cab, or your straps want to be closest to the cab. I'm gonna go ahead and sit something like this. I'm just gonna squeeze it forward by hand. I'm kind of sitting here like this. Now there should be a 3/8 inch gap between, I need to cut this down a little bit more to have it flush, but between the hard surface here of this rail and the bed, there should be about a 3/8 inch gap. And same thing here, a 3/8 inch gap right in here, right in here. So the instructions say they should be compressed to about 50%. So you just kind of eyeball it and see how 50% of that cushion is compressed. Go ahead and get this one kind of staged. Okay. All right. So now our bed rails are staged, our sealant is in. And now we're gonna go ahead and get these hooked up to the bed. All right, so next up we're gonna clamp our rails to our bedside. The instructions do say to start high, and that means start at the top notch relative to the like grip top here. So just make sure you're up here to start with, and then you can move it lower to adjust the level of the rail. So that's all it's saying. Just start in this position, and then you can move it down lower to level out the rail. So we got 3 for each side. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So what it looks like. So just clamping bedside to the rail. These little clamps. Okay, so we got our clamps in. That's what it looks like when they're in. Obviously you want the face of the bolt towards you so you can tighten it. Guess you can get a little light. And those channels along the rail lined up with the clamp and the back of the rail on the back side of the bed. You do want to make sure that this overlaps the bed just a hair, because that's what's going to keep water out. So here's a good example of, you see that, just that little edge right there, you want it just over your bed with the, make sure the gasket between there didn't get folded in when you staged it and is visible. So it's going to keep water and debris out. So tighten it up once you got it level and where you want it, and then repeat for the opposite side. So double checking this side, this is exactly what I'm trying to tell you to avoid. See how that's folded in right there? That's gonna ruin the functionality of that. So we're gonna go ahead and fold this up, pull it back out just a little bit. There we go. Now the seal is between the bed and the rail. And this is a bit of a tedious process. I left them all in the recommended height, so that level there. I'm just getting them hand tightened while trying to make sure it's over enough. I'm going to do one in the middle and then one on each end of the bed. So I got that one hand tightened. Get this one in. And kind of while I'm doing this, I'm pushing these up and over as much as I can, just to make sure that I'm sealed away from water and debris getting in. All right. Got those nice and tight. Rail is over the bed just slightly. Okay. All right. Then we're gonna go ahead and get our roll up installed. Okay. So as you can see on the the coiling mat, there are these little pins in the mat that drop through those holes near the window. So I'm gonna get this unrolled and lay it out, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so I got the bed cover out on the bed, tailgate I should say, and you can see here, these are the little pins that line up with the holes in the rails at the cab side of the bed. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of get this laid out. Okay, that's off. Now we're going to drop these little pins inside those holes as best as we can. It's going to be a little tedious. I'm going to roll it up as far as I can. I'm gonna need both hands. Okay, that side's in. Sorry, there's probably not a lot of light, so you can see I'm just kind of using my hand up top to get it lined up the best I can, and my finger on the bottom to verify that it did get in. Alright, go. Okay. And that side's in. Double check this side. Alright. Cool. Alright. So it's best just to coil it up as much as you can, because you'll be fighting the Velcro. You just kind of use one hand up top to fit it in, and then you'll feel when the pins drop through the holes. Okay. I gotta say, that's relatively heavy. I know the package was marked like attention UPS, heavy package over 70 pounds, so I think it has a great quality to it. It's very durable. I mean, it's like, these are plastic, but I mean, you can see right there, that's metal. And it's like hardened aluminum, very durable. I wanted something to prevent people from being able to get in my bed. I'm not saying that this is gonna 100% prevent that, because if somebody wants to really get in, they're going to get in, but this just helps take a little bit of the extra step, and I like the way it looks. I did have my old truck broke into. I had a camper shell on my Denali HD, a Lear one, and it was locked. But what happened is the criminals took a crowbar to the bed and popped it up out of the socket and ripped the tailgate off. So, I mean, it wasn't the Lear's fault. You can see as soon as you get to a certain angle right there, the bed will pop through. So somebody clearly knew what they were doing. Because I mean, I was all the way up and they just popped it off with a crowbar, sheared it, busted it, and got in. And that's life in the city. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and keep going. All right, I got you guys some light here so you can see what's going on. So there's the pin that dropped through. Now this handle should slide over that. I'm gonna have to use both hands. You should hear a click. There we go. There's one side. Oh, sorry. And there's two sides. So you may need to press up on the rail a little bit to get that pulled over. All right. So now we're gonna go ahead and get it unrolled. All right. Piece of foam. Okay. I'll go ahead and latch it. Hear a click there. Make sure this side. Uh-oh. There we go. Make sure this side. Once you clicked it in, you know it's fitted. I'm gonna just redo that. Because this side doesn't seem to be aligned right on. But that also could be. Let's see. Okay, so it just helps if you have a hand on each end. Try that again. Okay. Alright. So that's it. For rolling it out. Alright, so putting the tailgate up, should just put it up and should just fit. No, we don't want that. That's exactly what we don't want to happen. So it is recommended to have it close the tailgate before you latch it. And this only works with some applications, but noted that the little rubber liner here, this little gasket fabric stuff, if it doesn't work like this for you, for some truck applications, you can shut it with this. It will work with this being folded down and then the bed shut towards it. But my truck does work with it being up. So if you're having issues, try the alternative method. But this is just noted that some trucks will work with this up and then some will work with it down per the instructions. Preferred method of closure, close tailgate, and then close cover on top of tailgate. This method will not work with some truck applications. Use alternative method instead, which the alternative method is closing the cover, close the latch, close and latch cover, then close tailgate with seal to the inside of the tailgate. Some care will be needed to be taken to train the seal to be closed on the inside. So it's just going to take some time for this to be folded forward naturally. So next, we're going to go ahead and kind of pull this towards us and get this latched. And on this side too, go ahead, just pull it forward, kind of get it to stick. And there we go. I mean, it's a pretty sleek design. I think it sits pretty flush. Feels pretty durable, no movement. Yeah, I don't know if somebody could like, yeah, they can kind of peek in, I guess. Let's see. Let's see, if I was a criminal, I wanted to get in. Let's see if I could at least peek in. Hardly. Not a lot of room there. But I wonder if we could reach it up enough to get the latch. Oof. So let's just test this out. Let's see if I can get in there, because that's the bed closed and locked. And there's the wire right there to pull it. Having a pretty hard time without tools, but probably still doable. Nothing is completely preventable, but this is gonna keep stuff protected from weather, try to keep thieves out. I just like the way it looks too. Also prevents the bed liner from getting weathered and a bunch of snow piled up in there and stuff. So I'm pretty happy with it. Care and maintenance is to just wipe it down with soap and water. I guess dust will accumulate in here on the bottom side, and when you roll it up, there'll be dust all along here. So soap and water is the easiest way to clean it. And that's pretty much going to do it. We got leveling kit in, got it aligned, boxes in the rears, got a bed cover on. It's coming along decently well. It's kind of tough coming from a Raptor, to be honest with you, but this just fits my needs currently in my life. I'm fairly happy with it. We'll see what's next. I do kind of want to go back to a diesel, and I am thinking a 6.7 Power Stroke. Coming from the Duramax world, I don't think I can go back to Duramax. Simply has nothing to do with drivetrain and stuff, besides the whole issue with the Allison being branded an Allison. So it's supposedly an in-house transmission built by GM, and we all know how that goes with the 4L60Es. But I don't know, maybe it is a good transmission. I just know it's not a tried and true built Allison, manufactured in Indiana or wherever their plant is. It's an in-house GM built transmission, which they bought branding rights to be able to call it an Allison. And that was the whole big thing about buying Duramax, is having the, a strong transmission. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, and everything I've read is just all lies. So, but the main thing that's preventing me from going back is the interior. I look at the interiors of the new Rams and the new Fords, and it's hard to get back in a GM with their new interiors. It's kind of disappointing. I will say the newest release model, my father-in-law has one. Just a Denali, not a diesel, but it's got the updated interior, and I will say it was a big upgrade. So I don't know, still a lot to ponder and make a decision later, but I just miss the sound of the diesel engine, and I miss the power. But this is gonna hold me over until then. I'm thinking next, we gotta do something with these wheels. I don't know, we gotta do something. I don't know if I just need to get new tires or a new wheel and tire together. I know some people refer to it as rims, but I either want to get rid of just this or both of these. So yeah, I kind of don't want to go too crazy with it if I plan on getting rid of it, but I do want some better tires, something a little bit more aggressive. These are the Hankook 90 Pro AT2s. They have a really good lifespan on them, over 50,000 mile warranty on them. They're quiet, they're light, they're a great factory tire. They're a 275/60R20, but I think I do want to go with at least a 285/60, if not a 295. But we'll see. All right, like and subscribe for more. Thanks.